Hey everyone, David here from Team Ultra Instinct, bringing you a Sun Gohan Set 13 deck profile. This is the most updated version I have for the Set 19 format. I've not adjusted it for the next format coming out, which is BT20. This is actually one of my favorite decks right now, and it is my favorite character. It's in his favorite era, or my favorite era, sorry. and I've had a lot of success with the deck, actually. It's surprisingly aggro. And it being a skillless deck, the skillless decks typically aren't great, but there's been some metas when it does pretty well. This is one where I say it's improved a lot, and the TP that it got is what really boosted it. But this leader allows you basically to manipulate your energy a bit. So when he attacks, you can add a mono blue card from your energy to your hand. And then if you do, you choose up to one mono blue battle card from your hand and place it in your energy. So it has to be a mono blue back to your hand, but then it has to be specifically a mono blue battle card. That did trip me up one time. That was near the beginning of when I first used this deck. But it's very easy to awaken this leader. When you play a blue skillless battle card from your energy, you can flip this card over, and then if you do, you draw two cards, you go down to 6 life. That's basically the way you're going to awaken at all times. If you get aggro down to 4 life, you're just going to awaken the normal way, draw two cards, flip over. But typically, you'll be awakening on turn 2. Turn 2 is pretty explosive. Turn 3 is even more explosive. Awaken side, basically the same thing as the front, except this time you draw a card in addition when you attack. The activate battle does come in handy, a little extra free pressure. Choose one of your skillless Saiyan cards that energy costs 2 or less, and give it 5k power for the battle. So you can make a 20k beater to a 25k. One of my favorite leaders. Looks like I need to get a new sleeve. It's getting a little worn out, but had a lot of success with this deck so far. So let's go through it. I tried to organize it so it kind of makes sense, and so it's a little easy to follow. So right out the bat, we got 4 of the Gohan skillless because I'm the Gohan fan. So of course I'm gonna have 4 of him where I can. They do have to be blue ones, so of course they're gonna be blue as well. And then I have 3 of the Trunk skillless, so I'm running 7 skillless in total. No text to go over, but 7 feels pretty consistent. I wouldn't do 8. You can maybe do 6, but I think 7's the comfortable number. That's what I'd personally stick with. It's what I've had success with. I've only had 1 out of like 20 games where I haven't seen a skillless, and that's bound to happen sometimes. It just is what it is. But usually you're seeing it. Usually you're getting your plays off. So next are the cards that allow you to play those skills from your energy. Sorry, they're not really organized. There are 2 foils in there and 2 non-foils. What I have is the TN. I opted into playing this simply because of the draw 1 card. Maybe it would have been a good idea to have the Searcher instead, but so far I've had success with just having the draw 1 TN. But he has this auto down here. So if your leader card is a blue Sun Gohan Childhood, let's use the non-foil to read it. When this card is placed in your energy from your hand, you may play 1 blue skillless card with an energy cost of 2 from your energy. If you do, you place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode, so you're never negging an energy, you'll be getting an energy no matter what. But so he'll be, basically what you'll want to do is manipulate your energy, or on turn 2, you charge him, pay the skillless that's hopefully in your energy, because you're typically only wanting to charge your skillless. Pay the skillless as the energy, not the TN, because then what happens is the skillless comes out and then it replaces itself with another energy in rest mode like that. So typically that's what your turn 2 is. He's usually the leading play, but if you don't have him, then we go into the next thing, because you're always going to want to awaken turn 2. You want to be on the backside as quick as possible, even if it is potentially taking you down from 8 to 6, just because you're auto. That's all right. We're fine. We're getting awakened really quick. I do have all winners of this because, of course, my favorite character. His activate main, actually really good on both ends. So you pay 2. If your leader card is the Gohan, which it is, you may play 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 from your energy. And if you do, play this card from your hand, and then add the top card of your deck to your energy. Not in rest mode, in active mode, actually, which is very, very useful. So typically what you want to do turn 2, charge him first, then you play your guy, awaken or do the auto to flip over, swing with your leader, bring back an energy back to your hand, put down a skillless, and then you have the TN and a skillless in your energy, which lines up for this play next to actually play the Gohan on turn 2. Very good card. The activate main, I've used it a lot. I've actually used it on my turn 2 and my opponent's turn 1. Basically, return one of your skillless battle cards with an energy cost of two to your hand, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy and place it at the bottom of their deck. So this could be great. I mean, they have a 1-drop on their board. You swung with your other skillless already. You bounce that skillless back to your hand, and then bottom deck their 1-drop and punish them a little bit. Don't let them get the value out of it. Now, it may not seem insane, but this card is actually really great, like cheap removal. Comes in handy a lot for the removal aspect. And of course, the aggro aspect. I mean, you're pooping out two 20k bodies for 2 energy, so basically 1 energy commitment for both. Even then, it's not even actually 2 energy. At the end of the day, it's only 1 energy because you replace the top of your deck or your energy with an active mode energy. But really good card. I'd say he's probably the heart and soul of the deck. Really just makes it all come together. This is a card that could be cut out. I partially run it for flavor and partially run it because it's useful. This is the Trunks from the set 13. I'm really not going to explain him because he's an older card, and he doesn't really fully make the deck flow. I mean, I don't play him too often. I've had a couple times I play him. I run him as a 2-of. He's decent. Just a nice way to get your skills back to your hand if you need to kind of set up for next turn or something with your energy. Pretty decent. This Gohan, however, I will go into a little bit. So he's pretty nice. All you have to do to play him for his activate main is you pay a blue, and then you just have to be a mono blue leader and then have a blue skillless and then energy cost of 2 in play. You play him from your hand. And the reason why I think he's pretty good, when he's played, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So regardless of the fact that he's a 15k blocker for 1 energy, it's just being able to bottom deck things ignoring barrier. That can be huge, especially if they place like Borgos or something to punish maybe your negates. It's good to just get rid of them that way. And if they have more than 1, I mean, it is what it is. But his activate main is not once per turn, so you can play him more than once in a turn. I run 3. He's worked out great for me. Pretty solid card. But not the heart and soul of the deck. The TP takes that spot. This is a little tech for me. I only run it as a 1-of because basically you can only use it once. He's come up quite a bit actually for me. I actually am a big fan of it now. So basically, if you have 3 or less life, you can activate him for free. You don't have to take a life or anything. It's just for free. As long as your leader is a Blue Sun Gohan Childhood, which it is. You negate the attack, and then you can play a blue skillless with an energy cost of 2 from your hand. And then you can't activate counter attacks on this copies of this card for the rest of the game. That's why I only run it as a 1-of. When it comes up, it comes up. I've never felt like I've needed it, but when I have it, it's kind of like a win more card. But yeah, I mean, I've had it become really useful to have him play that skillless because sometimes they clear my board and then I do that and he sets up for next turn, potentially for some big plays. Solid 1-of. There's a couple 1-ofs in here. Janemba, I mean, you have to run it with it. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but he's just so broken. He's limited to 1. Basically, if you have 3 or more energy, you can bounce one of your skillless with energy cost of 2 or 3 from your field to your hand. And then he's a dual attack crit. So what's happening is you're just aggro, free aggro, 19k crit. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, at the end of the turn, he'll get warped, but you're just putting on so much pressure with just this card. Really good card. Recommend definitely keeping it in. You have those skills to just synergize with it. There's no reason to not run it. Then one of my favorite cards, may not be the heart and soul, but he is a threat in itself. The 10-drop Gohan, very susceptible to Dirty Burst, which is okay. It's a 4 energy commitment, but it is your turn 4 play. I'd say it's technically 3 energy because the card that you end up placing in your energy to play it goes in active mode, so you get some advantages out of it. You're not tapped out at the end of the day. But your opponent has to have 3 or more energy when you play it, and you have to put a skillless from your board to your energy. And then you play him from your hand, and yeah. That's really it. You just choose the card, and then it goes in your energy, and then play him. 30k triple striker, can be dual attack, can be a board wipe. Usually they combo away board after the first swing, unfortunately. But sometimes you can catch them lacking. Or if they tap it or something like that, you can restand it and then be like, hey, we got it again. It's only once per turn, though. But you do have to pop an energy. It has to be a mono blue battle card from your energy to go to the drop to restand him and then clear their board. But very nice finisher. I only run him as a 3-of. Honestly, I don't get to turn 4 super often. When I do, sometimes he closes out the game. Sometimes I have alternate routes. But I definitely think keeping him as a 3 of is great. I don't have a lot of 10k combos in the deck that cost an energy. He's like one of the few that is. And of course, this next one's going to make sense. Everyone has it in their deck. Champa, Furthering Destruction Champa. I mean, just double strike per game. Self-explanatory. This is one of my favorite cards. And a lot of blue decks, I mean, all the decks are really running SGRs in their own right. I'm not going to explain why I run it. I run 3 of it. One of my favorite cards for blue right now. And it's also because I'm a Gohan fan, so I'm a little biased. But definitely love it. I've had it come up to where I play it for the 3 energy, or I just often use it for the Zenkai auto, where I just bottom deck one of their 5 or less. Very useful card. I definitely keep it at 3. You could do 2. I wouldn't do 4, though. 3 is a good number. This card has grown on me a lot the more I play it. This is also from set 19, and it's very nice because if you do that activate battle, and he's in your Z energy, you get to combo with 2 cards from your drop area. I mean, you have to discard a card, but then it'll come out and play itself to draw a card. So I like it because it's a 15k body that draws you a card and gives you extra combo power. Very useful for me. It's helped save me from dying. It's helped me put on extra aggression. It's helped me pitch dead cards from my hand and then keep like comboing just to be safe or put on more aggression. I'm actually a huge fan of this card. I recommend it at 3. The even 4 you could do. 2, yeah, sure, but I do recommend it at 3 or 4. 3 has been a good number for me. I often see it. And then this is one of those ones where you probably don't need 4. You probably realistically need 3. I've been playing it at 4. Comes up really useful, but it's from the Annie box. Just nice. 1 energy aggression or both aggression and defense actually. You can play it during either player's turn. It has an activate battle. So if you have 3 or more Z energy, you can play it from your hand for 1 blue. Then when he's played, you draw a card, then bottom deck a 4 or less, and then he's a 20k double striker. So that's really good for 1 energy. I run him at 4 strictly because of aggro purposes. Then super combos are going to be straightforward. I'll explain the Zeno, but just dig deeper for the Vegeta. I just want to see more cards, put on more aggression. Obviously, potentially see all 4 of my super combos. That's why I want to run 3 of those. I wouldn't change that to anything else. I wouldn't even put more Zenos in. I run the 1 of Zeno because I've had a couple times where I've hit Champa in my energy. The leader can't pull it out of the energy, unfortunately. So, the way around it, Zeno can. So, I've had a couple times where Zeno saved my butt, bring that Champa out of my energy during my opponent's turn, and then put down a blue energy. We've corrected it. We're safe. So, that's why we have the 1 of. You can also do some shenanigans. You can charge the TN during your opponent's turn and play Skillless during your opponent's turn. That one's kind of funny. I haven't had the chance to do that one a whole lot. But it's pretty funny to get it off. I run 3 sensu beans, not 4. This is one of those ones where, yeah, you could run 4. I've used it mostly against aggro matchups where they have a lot of 15Ks, and it kind of just saves me the extra combo power. Or if I need to set up for the activate battle on Gohan to just play him for 3 energy, or even do an activate battle for Goku Black or the Goku and Vegeta. That's the only reason I really use Sensu Bean, because it's only a defensive card now, unfortunately, after the errata. But that's all right. We run 3. You could run 4. I like it at 3. I don't really need to see it that often. We're an aggro deck, not really defensive. Aggro blue deck, really weird. 2 Shield's Army Reinforcement, pretty self-explanatory. You could run 3. I like it at 2. And then I have my 4D Magics. You could run it at 3, but I like to be a little bit more safe just in case. Sometimes it's just energy for me. Or it's pitch fodder for the Goku Vegeta, since you can't do anything with it during your own turn. Still really good. Of course, staple negate. Nothing wrong with it. My secret rare of choice, I think this is the most broken secret rare in the game for blue. And not only that, it's Gohan, so I had to run it. Gohan themed deck, so there's a lot of Gohan cards in here if you couldn't tell. This card's insane. It actually has a great pairing with the leader effect, though. So you're going to play it, obviously do his auto, sure. His activate, though, what you're going to do, you would have swung with your leader already, or maybe you swing with your leader first. if they don't have a way to, interact with the Gohan at the time. Do the leader auto, and it is not once per turn, so that's why I'm explaining this. That auto is not once per turn. And Gohan specifies he can untap 2 of your cards, so you'll be untapping an energy with Gohan, or untapping an energy. Then you'd swing with this SCR Gohan, and then do his activate, restand both of these. So essentially what you're doing with this is you're drawing extra cards, you're untapping more energy, you're setting up for more skillless plays, potentially. It's pretty nasty. He pairs super well with this deck. This energy is actually unreal, and he is very, very disgusting. And then if he sits on board and you somehow don't kill him, is what it is. Hopefully they don't kill him on the clapback. But yeah, being able to potentially bottom deck a life. I often have a large hand, so I don't always get to bottom deck a life from them on the auto. But if you do, feels even better. That's my secret rare of choice. Love it. I wouldn't switch it to anything else. Z-Deck, Vegeta, just in case I need to somehow self-awaken, like I'm not seeing my skillless. I've had to do it once. Vegito, honestly, probably the worst card in the Z-Deck. I just run him because if I get to 5, it's an option. I don't often play from the Z-Deck, so that's why. Beerus, I do play quite often. I've thought about bumping him to 3. I think 2 is good. I wouldn't really do anything more than that. Solid card, puts on more aggression, board removal. The only thing that sucks, doesn't have deflex, so if they counterplay it, is what it is. 2 cells, board wipe, 25k crit, potentially dual attack, potentially 25k crit triple striker. Disgusting. It can only clear 5 or less. Perfectly fine. You use it when you need it. Really good card. I run Goku simply for large hands. So if there are people that are easy, like 15, 16 card hands, that's the only reason I play this. I play it, and I believe it knocks them back down to 10, right? Yeah, knocks it down, their hand size down to 10, just so they don't have a huge hand. Usually the deck is able to kind of chip away at their hand strictly because you're swinging 20Ks, 25Ks. So not a huge worry there, but, it's there. It's an option. You don't need to run it. I like it, though. I do have sideboard. Sideboard, Baby Ape, and it's just for decks that run a lot of counters. That's the only reason I run it. Absolute Release Ball, it's for like Gamma, something like that. Anything that plays Floodgates, we got to get around it. We have to put pressure in. That's why I run it. Borgos, for filthy blue players. Even though this deck is blue, it's aggro blue, so it's not relying on negates. And especially like D-Magic. Like, yeah, you can punish D-Magic in here, but we're not really worrying about it as much. So we want to punish players that are like Beerus or something. Usually they're fine because of Zeno and Sensu, but in the off chance that they need that D-Magic for extra defense, I mean, untapping an energy during the opponent's turn is always great. So that's why we got those 4. This is for the Gogeta matchup. If we're worried we're not even going to live turn 4, just make sure they can't kill us with the 8-drop. I honestly don't have a great explanation for this. I mean, I guess the best thing is it's good against the Rush Attack Vegeta. That's why I run this. Punish him on the first attack. But then you also have Gohan. So, I don't know. This card's okay. It's still a great card. It's just okay in this deck. And Rush Attack Vegeta, again, it just prevents 2 or lesses from attacking. And another Champa in case we need to apply even more double strike damage. That's only for decks that are like really stally. But that's the deck profile. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, it's my favorite deck right now, and it's nice to be able to play a set 13 deck in a set 19 meta. But I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.